pretty hard last week trying to get
There's probably better, but
through some very difficult circumstances, and they've done a tremendous job. So I appreciate their efforts on this. Because as you all know, the task force that was formed to try to promote some healthcare reform, one of the first tasks that we looked at is whether or not we need some professional consulting services. So we sent out an RFP, and we went through a process to select one that we thought would be the best for what we're trying to do. What you have before you today is a contract that has been agreed upon between DLR and Stevens Group. I'm going to go through that with you shortly. This lists the recommendation of the task force by Code 97, and it is fairly straightforward. Let me go through it because, again, this is a $1 million contract. The first part in paragraph 1 talks about the services that Stevens Group will provide. It clarifies those. It does clarify also that the assumptions in their proposal to us is not part of the agreement. Paragraph 2 talks about the data requirement that they'll have to provide. Both states will provide to them, the states are required, the state agencies will participate to make sure that they have access to the data that they need. It also ensures that the data will be protected under requirements of HIPAA, so that there's no privacy violations. Paragraph 3 talks about the deliverables, which is primarily a report that is due October 1st to the task force. It discusses the format that will be delivered to the task force. Paragraph 4 is determination and the term of the agreement. It begins, assuming it is approved May 15th, and will terminate at the end of next year, December 31, 2016, and has an option for a 6-month renewal. Paragraph 5 covers the fees and expenses, as well as a memorandum of understanding between DLR and DHS to allow for the 50% Medicaid match that we will be applying for health funds. It sets out the maximum contract price of $1,081,500. It also discusses the provision for additional travel allowances for task force meetings or other legislative committee meetings necessary. Paragraph 6 talks about the fact that Arkansas laws will be the governing authority. Paragraph 7 says the contract may not be signed. Paragraph 8 talks about the amendment process. Paragraph 9, confidentiality. Paragraph 10 talks about the performance standards. And this is the contract. It requires the scope of work and the Medicaid audit. It requires that they provide a list of all potentially ineligible beneficiaries identified by ID number. The identifiers must be available to DHS for its use if desired without any additional cost to the state. That was a big portion of the proposal, and that was something that a lot of the members were interested in, was the ability to provide specific identification of people currently recipients of Medicaid that eligibility cannot be verified. So that is one of the performance requirements. The other thing is there is a cure period if they're unable to provide the report on time or if there are deficiencies. They have 14 days to cure that and the case begins to be imposed. There's 3 attachments. One is the RFP. The other is Stevens Group's proposal. That's attachment A. Attachment B is the associate agreement between Stevens Group and DHS to maintain confidentiality. And the final is the memorandum of understanding we talked about to help us secure a 50% match to help fund the contract. So that is the terms of the contract. And as my role as chairman, I'm here to present it, and as a recommendation of the task force, again, approved 97. Let me just say they did an outstanding job, particularly with their written presentation. I will tell you that I had them ranked as number 1 prior to the presentation because the task force narrowed it to 4. They really have a tremendous resume of reports that they presented, and those were part of their RFP. The part that I think was, again, central to the importance of a lot of members was their ability to conduct a thorough audit of the entire Medicaid program, both the expansion program and the current program. And again, we heard numbers from anywhere from $5 to $20 million by other presenters about the cost to do that. And they represented us to do that as part of the contractual responsibilities. And again, that could potentially save the state millions of dollars. Marty and Jill checked the references, their staff checked the references on mail, as well as all presenters, and they came back with good recommendations and good references. So, yeah, that is the contract, and Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about it. And what I'd like to do, Mr. Chairman, now is I'd like to just make a few comments that I've already informed my task force that I would make about some reservations that I have, not as the chairman of the task force, but as a member of the task force, and as a senator, and as a member of the legislative council. Because I think it is important for all of us who serve in committees to understand the fact that the chair of the committee does not necessarily mean that you are required to agree with every decision that's made. In fact, both the co-chair and I had some concern that we had a very close vote on this direction. We had this proposal narrowed to two, what I would consider both quality firms that presented their path forward. The problem that I see, the reason that I would prefer the good ways before we spend $1 billion is because we had two dramatically different presentations of the two firms. One presented a plan with a 19-month plan, a comprehensive plan, far beyond an audit, far beyond the report on October 1st. Steve's group, and I'm sure they'll have to speak for this, and Marley and Jill will speak. They were clear with us up front. The RFP, as they understood it, the majority of the work would be done by October 1st with the presentation of that report. So in other words, prior and subsequent to that date, we needed more services with regard to implementation, with regard to questions about how we further explore things that came out of the report. There's going to be additional help, additional cost required. So what we saw in the task force was about half of the task force was very interested in cleaning up the current program and spending the dollars and the effort to do that. The other group, while we thought it was important, was more focused on a more comprehensive approach. So, having said that, I would prefer, again, and I think the coach again, rather than starting out with half of the task force, the other members of the task force feeling that this $1 billion expenditure is not going to give them the tools necessary to do real structural changes. The way to try to find either a proposal that does that, or that we see without consultants and we need to help us piecemeal approach, and we are resources that we have in-house. Now, again, I'm speaking for myself now, not for the task force. I believe we've got a little bit crazy with contracts with consultants. This is $1 million for 4.5 months. We'll have a report due October 31st, and after that, again, I would gladly pay a contract much higher than that if I thought it would lead to success in what we're trying to do. Because the fact is, as much as we're concerned about being able to spend $1 billion in relation to a $5 or $6 billion program that's expended, and if they can produce 1, 2, 3, 4% savings, people more than pay for this. So while I think we've gone a little bit overboard with contracts and consultants, I'm willing to spend dollars for a consultant that can really help us solve the entire problem. As much as an audit is needed, and as much as scrubbing these roles is needed, that changes nothing. All that does is get people off the road, right? They don't need to do that. They'll save state money moving forward. That's what our task force is to do. And that is the focus of what we're going to do, is to go in, make sure that we have W-2s, and we have make sure that nobody's getting the benefit that they deserve. I think we all deserve what we do that. So that's my reservation. I would, again, I think with the Stevens group, I certainly hope that regardless of how this turns out, maybe our quality firm deserve a fair shot at their representation. And I'll just tell you this. I know how these things usually work, and if the majority of this committee, the majority of council chooses this is the path we're going to go, I will vote with our chair and I have that concerns with this board diligent with the students who are trying to solve the solutions to all the reservations that we have. But to say that we're going to embark on a $1 million contract and running of the project is important to this, I'm not going to say that the chair is responsible for something I experience. That's my explanation now.